Hello, hello. Welcome back to COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. I am Matt.
My name is Jeff.
Wait. Turn them on.
Okay, go ahead.
And we got a special guest with us today.
Judah!
Hey, Judah, what's up, man? We got a...
Judy, you want to sing your song?
What's your song?
Beer!
Keep going! More beer!
That's all the beer you got?
That's the whole thing?
Yes.
No more beer? Judah, what's your favorite beer?
I don't drink beer since I'm 6.
There you go. Good answer. Yeah, this is public community radio after all.
Yeah.
Judah's over here. He's got his iPad. He's slinging away some Fruit Ninja and drinking a Fanta grape.
This is what happens when your kids are out of school.
Hey, Judah, what's your favorite flavor of Fanta?
Only tasted grape Fanta.
Oh, only grape. He's like, please. Psh, come on. So, anyways, welcome back to the beer world.
How does it feel to live in the America that's going to be great again?
The America that's going to be great again?
I know you voted for Trump.
I stayed outside Trump Tower over the weekend.
I know you voted for Trump because I followed you to the voting precinct and watched you vote.
Well, now I know you're lying because I definitely did not vote for Trump.
Well, also you have a Trump sticker on your car, so.
Do I?
Yeah. Said I bumped for Trump on the back.
If somebody actually made that sticker, I might actually.
America is getting great again as we speak.
Yeah. Well, we got a good show today. We're going to talk about some beer travels.
Yes.
Jeff has been over. Did you say you were in Pennsylvania?
I was in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, and you were at the big deal.
And I was at the other windy city in Chicago going to FoBAB. Good time, great time. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. I want to start the show out with something a little unorthodox. Something cool happened today, and made me realize two things. I got a wreck today. And
wait, a wreck? What? Wait.
I got in a car accident.
Oh, wreck, not a... I thought you said something else. Sorry.
No. I got in a car accident today, and it was a little freaky. Not too bad. The more I think about it, the more I realize I was probably about 6 inches away from dying, but I hit a school bus. Well, actually, a school bus hit me. I don't
think you're supposed to hit school buses.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think that's
either.
actually not allowed.
Yeah. Well, I was going down I was in Berea at a job and going about 55 down a highway, and this lady driver was at a three-way stop, and she came to a full stop. I keep driving, slowly pulls out, does the wide arcing right turn, comes straight into my lane. I'm like, surely she sees me. And obviously she did not, because she went right in front of me, and we were about head-on for a couple seconds. I swerved, she swerved the last second. We missed each other by about 6 inches, but the giant mirror that sticks out the side slammed right into my windshield, into my windshield frame. Had we hit head-on, I might not be here. It's kind of crazy. But what happened is first of all, right as soon as it happened, my windshield was shattered. I was covered in glass where it exploded inward. I'm still picking glass out of my beard. Pull off to the side. She pulled off to the side. My reaction could have gone any number of ways, but what actually ended up happening was I was just glad that I was all right. And I hope that she was all right. Got out of the car, talked to her. I was like, do you have any kids on the bus? She's like, no. I'm getting ready to pick some up, but I'm okay. She's like, are you okay? I'm fine. We started talking. We started laughing. We ended up actually becoming friends. And it kind of made me realize that, we... in our daily lives, we can choose to be however we want at any given moment. And, during one of the most drastic moments, like getting in a car accident, I know so many people that would just be like, oh, well, it's the other person's fault, and I'm going to get pissed off, and I'm going to bitch them out, and I'm going to be irate, or I'm going to fake an injury, and I'm going to milk the insurance for this. But, when you choose to be that way, it just kind of pollutes every part of your life. And I don't understand why we all have to be like that. And I see that a lot in the beer community too.
Holy mackerel. You've had a Jesus moment.
Yeah,
you've had a come to Jesus moment.
It was kind of a profound moment because I felt like
you should be calling the Hammer. You know the Hammer?
No.
You never see the commercials?
Oh yeah, the Kentucky Hammer. Yeah.
You need to call the Hammer, man.
I know, right? Yeah. But
because Kentucky school districts are just loaded with money.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But
right. As we broadcast from a charter school.
Exactly. But it just...
Yeah, but I saw your windshield. It definitely makes you look more redneck than you've ever looked before. Yeah. You're driving off a cracked windshield.
I might keep it on there. I'm not really sure.
That's just ethos. That's Kentucky ethos that I have a cracked windshield and a Trump sticker on the back.
Right?
Yeah.
For everybody listening, I don't have a Trump sticker. But
but at least only the flag, the stop sign
Huh?
That's what hit your window, the stop sign?
No, it was actually it was one of those oversized kind of side mirrors.
Oh, no, it was the rearview mirror. The rearview mirror hit your.
Yeah, they have these huge like disc side mirrors that they stretch out about a foot.
But at least she didn't actually hit the car itself.
No, and that's the thing. Had I hit the bus, I might be dead.
But suddenly you're just driving and boom, your windshield just shatters on you. Like, what the F is going on?
It's suddenly you're just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But I mean, I could have my reaction could have gone any number of ways. And honestly, part of me was wondering, like, should I be pissed? Should I be mad because she hit me?
I would have been
maybe
mad.
I have the right to, but honestly, I was just thankful that like nothing.
Have
really
you ever been hit before by someone in a car?
Yes, I have.
And
I had when I was younger.
When I get hit, I'm extremely mad.
Yeah.
I think it's been maybe 6 or 7 years since I've been hit in a car. But I bought our car that we have now. I remember, I think 2 weeks after I bought it, someone rear-ended me, and I was just furious.
Yeah, and my car is pretty new. My car is not even a year old. So, I should be
mad about.
And, part of me is like kind of pissed that I'm going to have to replace the
also, it's your time.
frame.
First of all, even if it's insured, it's your time. You have to go somewhere, get the windshield, you have to take off work, or whatever you're doing, or drinking beer, or looking at dirty pictures, and go to the place and get your windshield all at the same time.
Earmuffs, Judah, earmuffs.
Get your windshield replaced, and that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and you know what? I should be pissed. But the thing is, I'm not. And all I can think about is, you know what? I'm okay. Everything's fine. I was able to, get back to my next job and, just live my life, and I still got my family and everything. It's like, why get pissed about stuff all the time? But what's even funnier is right after that, the officer that showed up on the scene is one of our very own craft beer nerds.
Right.
He's an honorary COCBLOK member, and it was funny because he showed up and he's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, what's going on? And it reminded me of that scene from Fight Club where they're like, we're everywhere.
I've never seen him in uniform, so I think that would be really funny if he showed up in a uniform in his patrol car.
We won't name any names.
No, I won't say his name, but I think that would be hilarious if he showed up in his uniform.
Yeah, but like Fight Club, where it's like everybody that's in the Fight Club, it's like they perforate every aspect of life. Yeah, and he just shows up and he's like, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm good. He's like, "All right, just making sure." And it's funny because it's like they got our back. So yeah, COCBLOK, we're everywhere, people.
Right.
But
you cannot hide from us. We run the grocery stores, the banks, the cops.
Yeah, exactly.
The pediatricians. We're everywhere.
Yeah,
the university. We're everywhere.
The Trump supporters.
And Matt is a Trump supporter. That's right. So he's making America great again, folks.
I'm making America great again by drinking all the beer that everybody else wants to drink. I think anyway, because I went to the Festival of Barrel-Aged Beers in Chicago, Illinois, and I've been wanting to go for
this is your first time.
4 years now. This is the first time going. And I'm going to tell you about what happened, then I'm going to tell you about the beer after that. I was super excited to go to this event because, again, I've been trying to go for years now. And I got to say, I was completely underprepared.
Like you didn't train for this?
It's not even that I didn't train for this.
I mean, you need to drink some barrel-aged every other day for a week or so.
Well, maybe.
Get
it's not
shape.
even that. It's like I didn't really know what to expect. I knew what was going to be there.
Is there anything less than 10%?
Well, they had some sours.
Oh, so it's barely sours.
Barrel-aged everything, yeah. But what's good is they do have everything, but they have a lot of stuff that you never heard of. That's great. And the thing about beer, when you throw beer in a barrel, that tends to be a brewery's best product. Right. Like barrels are expensive, so people don't want to throw their crap in a barrel if they're going to sell it. It tends to be something that they're really proud of, or they're that is really good. And this is like a collection of everybody's best, essentially what it is. And there was a lot of stuff I never heard of, and it was just like, oh my god, it was just really amazing. But
is it all Illinois or is it anywhere?
No, it's everywhere. Yeah, there's stuff from well, I'll get to that in a second. But big shout out to my buddies in Chicago that helped take care of me. We ended up going to a place called Manny's across the street from UIC. It was the event was at University of Illinois Chicago, and there's a sandwich place called Manny's. And they retweeted one of my tweets. It was funny. I walked in, and it's like kind of like a Jewish deli, and they had a sandwich called it's spelled Chazzer, and I walked.
Chazer.
Yeah, and I walked in. And
you know what a chazer is?
No, I don't. Obviously,
Did you find out what a chazer is?
I walked in and I go, "I'll take the Chazzer," and the guy looks at me. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "The Chazzer." And then I said it real quiet because I was like, I wasn't confident after that.
You're such a goy.
Chazer. It's pronounced Chazer. Chazer. And I was like, Chazer. And he's like, Chazer. And he kept saying it back and forth.
Chazer's not what was in the sandwich? Because Chazer's not a good thing. You don't want to be a Chazer.
Yeah, well, it was corned beef and pastrami.
Chazer's like someone who's always like, trying to get everything and be greedy and take stuff that they really shouldn't have. Yeah. Hazard's not a good person.
Yeah, well, it's like, you could probably make a sandwich called the slime ball, and if it tastes good...
it's kind of like the slime ball, yeah.
But, it was like pastrami, corned beef, coleslaw, and a couple other things. It was amazing. It was a great sandwich, and I
our show's kind of Yiddishy today.
Yeah, I know. I put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter, and I got the retweet, and I was like, pregame before FoBAB. It's pronounced Chazer! And so I got chewed out in Yiddish, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, and then we went over to the Benny's that was right next to that also, and they normally do some Bourbon County tappings. They didn't, but we ended up having a couple beers there too. So we loaded up on food around 12.
They have taps in that Benny's?
Yeah, they do. It was, I can't remember which one it was, but it's right across from UIC. And then we walked down the block to the University of Illinois Chicago, stood in line for an hour.
So what do they have, like a big convention area over there that they hold this in?
Yeah, well, it's like in a big auditorium.
I've known my wife's given a talk to, but I've never been inside the university, so I don't know.
It wasn't huge per se, but they had a big auditorium, and they have 2 sessions on the first day.
As an academic, though, I can say I'm really happy to hear there's a university sponsoring and hosting.
I don't know if they're sponsoring.
Well, maybe they're renting their space, but getting somehow being involved in an event like this is awesome. Yeah.
Well, so there's like an early entry, and then there's a late entry. Early entry, you get in an hour early, but you have to be part of the Imbibe Club, which is like you get like a free magazine.
Imbibe magazine, yeah.
Imbibe magazine. Yeah. They give you all these quote unquote perks, but really the only perk anybody cares about is getting in an hour early at FoBAB because there's a lot less people, and you can basically try whatever you want before the crowd just come in and just.
This is smaller than GABF.
Oh yeah. I would imagine so. I've never been to GABF, but I imagine
like 1,000 people.
Or
is it like the festival?
Maybe like 1,500 people or something like that.
Size.
Yeah. And
you pay extra to get in early.
You pay extra to get in early.
Like
you get
how much?
I think it's like $30, $25.
Did you do this?
No.
Okay.
I got the regular entry, but even like the regular entry, it's like we got there about an hour and a half early and we ended up being almost right in front of the line. Understandable being that early, but we were told it's like if you go late. Everybody gets in at the same time, quote unquote, but you have to wait for that line to filter through. Right. If you're at the end of that line, even though they open doors and they let everybody in, they check your tickets, it'll still be at least an hour and a half before you get in.
Whoa, that seems way too long.
Yeah, it seemed. That's why I was like, "There's no way."
I don't think so. That's not like other festivals I've been to.
Well, we got in line, and everybody's coming through the same set of double doors. And once they opened the doors, we got in. By the time they opened the doors for us, the line was zigzagging like a roller coaster through a kind of like concrete, just kind of like open common area, all the way around the side of UIC to the back. So yeah, I totally think next year I'm definitely getting the early membership to get in because it was insane.
That's
and then
crazy.
They pack everybody in this one tiny auditorium. Well, when I got inside, one of my buddies, Justin, wanted to make sure that I got everything I wanted to get or anything that was good. So as soon as I walk in the door, he's like grabbed my arm. He's like, "All right, dude, this is where we got to go." And we went over the Jester Keen line, and we got the Spawn.
Oh, I had that at festival.
Sour. Yeah, great
the
sour.
fruit one or the non-fruit one?
I think it was the non-fruit one.
That is so good.
Yeah, the goose. Yeah, it was amazing.
So good.
We got atrial rubicide from Jester King down in Texas also. And it's like, bam. And it's like, the first time being there, I want to take everything in. So I'm just like, I got my glass. I got my they give you a program and stuff. And like, they give you strong pours, man. I mean, these glasses are probably like 4 or 5 ounce glasses, and they're filled 3/4 of the way full. You're talking about, for the most part, 10 to 15% beer, every single beer, with
it's 5 ounces or so, but it's gonna add up.
Yeah, it adds up really quick. But they had these pour buckets to where you could like pour it out if you didn't want to finish it. Kendra, my wife, was
she was
with
there too. Yeah,
she would take a couple sips, and before we get to the next beer, she'd be like, "Okay, pour."
That's how my wife would be. She wouldn't like any of that stuff.
Oh well, that's not what I did. I was like,
But the thing about those events is I think the hectic moment is when you first walk in the door, you're kind of like a kid in a candy store.
Yes.
Or like when you're 10, you go into a comic book store. Or something, you're like, I don't know where to go. There's that sense of, I need to get somewhere very quickly.
Yes.
I need to get somewhere really good very quickly. Now, by the end of the event, it's all casual, and you're just walking around. But those first few minutes of those big events are insane.
Yeah, you're exactly
Your emotions are going, and you're feeling all excited.
Yeah, not only that, I basically had a tour guide who was like saying, okay,
and you've got someone who's been there before.
Yeah, he's been there before. He was there for an hour door early.
And he was on the early shift.
Yeah,
so
he was on the early shift.
Yeah.
He was actually, I hope nobody from FoBAB's listening. He was like, snuck out a couple of like Prop 15 or 16 and like some barrel aged Malevolence Caliente. And I was like, oh man, it's like, I got so excited.
Snuck it out.
Yeah, we won't go into detail.
Like took his glass and filled stuff.
Just like, we won't go into detail. But so I got like a little taster, and I got really pumped up. So he's like dragging me. He's like, "Here's the Bourbon County." He's like, "Get in line for Bourbon County before anybody else
Bourbon
does."
County? I don't want to go to Bourbon County.
Well, they were supposed to have all the new ones on.
I don't even care. I would be doing everything but Bourbon County if I went.
I got in the Bourbon County line just because we were in the front of the line, and supposedly that's like the longest line in the place. So I got some Regal Rye from 2015.
It's good stuff.
Great beer. But then we went around. He's like, "You want to go to the sour room?" There's like a hidden kind of annex where you go into a door that says exit, really bright. It looks like it's, it takes you out of the building.
Right.
But you snake through some tunnels, past the bathroom, and then there's like a whole nother area, smaller area where it's nothing but sours. And that was actually the best room of the entire place. And I got to try some amazing stuff in there. So he's like, try this. Bam, 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 bam. And then he's like, let's go back to the other room. Let's get some stouts and barley wines. We go over there. And he's like, try this. Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, barley wines too.
Before I knew it, we were about 1 hour in, and I had already had about like 20 beers. And
right, so about 100 ounces in an hour will get you, no matter what it is.
Okay, and on top of that, we had eaten lunch at 12. We went to Benny's, to try to check out some tappings.
Is there food there?
Like 2. They did have food, but
can you bring food in?
And you can, and I didn't.
You got to bring some snacks or something, like a bag of pretzels. I didn't eat anything.
Something. I didn't eat anything all night, and I was trying to catch up.
Rookie.
And this is my first time there, so I'm like, they got the pour buckets, and I'm like, no, man, I want to enjoy this. So instead of pouring out my dregs, I'm sitting there finishing it all. So huge mistake. This is a lesson in what not to do when you go to
food
beer fest.
Plus water.
Yeah,
they're your friends.
Plus moderation. That's
but food and water are your friends.
Yeah. So we keep going through the night, and I keep running into like some of my Chicago buddies who just kind of wandered in, and we're having like a grand old time. Well, before you know it, a few hours pass, and we had a train to catch, and we're running the train, and this is where like the part of my evening I kind of like forgot moments.
I feel like we've rushed through the rest of the stuff. I'm gonna get to
the actual beer.
I mean, it's a great part of the story. But.
Well, we're rushing to get a train to go on the way home, and like I'm just like basically laying on my wife. She's a good sport, except she was taking selfies of me drunk the whole time and her smiling, which is pretty awesome. And it was time to get off the train, and it's. I was explaining this to you earlier. When you don't pay attention and you have too much to drink, careful, you okay? Judah just threw up everywhere.
Chugging that Fanta.
Yeah. When you aren't careful and you don't eat and you have more than you know you're supposed to have, and you get inebriated, there's this weird phase to where it's like you're inebriated to the point to where you can't really control what's happening to your body, but you still know what's happening, and it's just like frustration to the max. And that's what I was in. I was like, I had way too much, and it was like I could barely stand, but I was like still kind of coherent, and I was like, everything about this moment sucks.
Yeah.
And we get off the train, and I'm just standing there, and I was like, it's coming up.
Oh, so it wasn't on the train itself?
No, it was on the train.
Oh, it was on the train.
We were standing at the door to get off the train.
Oh, doorway.
Train comes to a stop, and I'm like, guys, it's coming.
In the doorway.
Right on the stairs. And it wasn't like real bad. It was just like stuff that it did not want to stay in my body.
Somebody's got to step over that or step into that.
Oh, I stepped into
You stepped into your own.
Well, right when I did that, a cop walks by.
Yeah.
And we were actually one stop away, and the cop looks at us. He's like, you all got to get off the next stop. And it was not our stop.
Cop saw you.
Yeah, he was like, that was not our stop. We were still like probably 6 or 7 miles away from our stop. He's like, you got to get off the next stop, and he just keeps walking. My buddy Justin tracks him down. He's like, dude, you got to let us stay on for one more stop. And he's like begging him. By that time, we all basically passed the second stop. He's like, if the train guy doesn't come back by, then you can stay on for one more. And it's like, all right. So we lucked out. I almost got us all. There was like 6 of us. I almost got us all kicked off the train. But we got to our stop, and of course, I stepped right in it, and I'm just like, vroom.
Slipped right in your butt?
Yeah. And my wife is there catching me, and she's like trying to hold onto 180 pounds, and like she's screaming for my buddy Derek, like, come here, help him up. And I'm like, I'm okay. No, I'm not okay. Somebody help me.
Then overdrinking and being drunk with your wife or other significant other.
Yeah.
And she's again,
like,
oh, come on,
big thanks to my wife for being a good sport, because
we came all the way out here, and you're...
Yeah, well, she went shopping the next day, so we kind of made up for it.
She got you back on the credit card.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I mean, I had a blast, except for the end there where I just didn't like accommodate. Next year, bringing food, bringing a backpack. Like people bring backpacks. I didn't think any of this.
Bringing a sandwich, bringing water, bringing some pretzels, bringing something, man.
Yeah, I'll do the pretzel necklace that I make fun of people for. I don't care. It's very necessary.
All right, well, we'll hear more about some of the barrel aged.
Yeah, we'll actually talk about the beer
of Chicago, and you're listening to WLXU FM 93.9 Kentucky.
Hello. Welcome back to COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. I'm Matt.
I'm Jeff.
And this is...
Judah!
What's up, buddy? Judah's the Fanta king over here. We're going to have him on every show.
How you doing, Judah? You all right?
Different flavor of Fanta.
You doing okay? Yeah, all right.
He gave us the nod. He gave us the I'm playing...
He might have pink eye. Which means everybody in this room might have pink eye.
Great, thanks. Thanks for bringing your kid in. He's playing his iPad, so he's
my secret weapon to just playing him among people.
Nice. So, anyways, I was going into depth about my experience at FoBAB, which was less than stellar after the fact, but awesome beforehand.
What a way to finish.
Yeah. I guess first time. That's the way it should go. So I'll be better prepared next time, but I'm definitely going next year.
Yeah.
But the actual festival, the beer was amazing. I was telling you that when people put beer in a barrel, they tend to do their best stuff because it's expensive. So we basically, in one room, 2 rooms more or less, you get everybody's best beer, and it's starting to get popular. I think FoBAB has only been around for 5 years, 4 or 5 years. It hasn't been that long, but I think people are starting to catch wind of it. So, and a lot of people are trying to get into it. But what I was really impressed with is that it wasn't just a whole lot of, I guess, the best of people that you've already heard of and stuff. There's a lot of really good stuff from breweries that I'd never heard of.
That's what excites me.
And that's fun. And it's it's funny. They separated it out into kind of there's 3 lanes, okay? And each lane there's a row of beer pourers on each side, and the majority of the beers they were pouring were bottles.
Oh yeah, that's like the festival.
There were some kegs, but mainly it was bottles. And Judah's like, I'm gonna sneak in here and say something, but they had they had fruit ales, they had barley wines, they had stouts, they mixed in with some just kind of random things. But the stout section was, it was stupid. It was like you could not move. It was, probably like New York City subway trying to get onto the
that many people.
Yeah, it was just you're just sitting there with your elbows just like squeezed in like this trying to get something, but there's no organization.
Everybody wants their vanilla, coconut, chocolate mix.
Whatever, yeah. But there's no lines to get in either. And normally I'd say that's very disorganized, and it is. The only line that was in the entire place that I could recall was for the Bourbon County stuff.
Right.
And they actually had ropes separating it off because I guess they just know people are going to want to get the Bourbon County. But everything else is a free-for-all. Bless you. You actually walk in, and it's just I want that beer. You just start pushing people out of the way, hold your glass up, hopefully got pouring, we'll see it, grab it, and put some beer in.
So I would probably stay away from Bourbon County line and just do all the other stuff that I don't even know what it is.
I actually would have if I hadn't been,
I'd be looking for all those small little brewers or brewers I don't know about.
Oh, yeah.
And
well, when we got in, we were like the 10th. I was like the 10th person in, so there was nobody in the Bourbon County line. But as soon as I got in line, I kid you not, I walked up and turned around, and there was already 60 people behind me. Yeah, it was stupid. So it's they were trying what do you want to get? And I was already in line, so I was just give me the Regal Rye. But which was fantastic. I did get to try the 2016 prop.
They had the new prop.
Proprietors, and I thought it was good. It wasn't as good as some of the years I can remember.
That's the coconut. Or no?
No. Well, this year they
not coconut this
they
year.
use chili peppers, I believe. I was told it was chipotle peppers by somebody that I was hanging out with.
But it has been coconut in the past.
Yeah. I think the first year was just coconut.
Right.
And then second year they did cinnamon sticks or some sort of tree bark that was cinnamon.
It's chili.
And now they added chili peppers, and that seems to be the most popular recipe for stouts nowadays in a barrel is...
As long as it's subtle and mixed with cinnamon.
Yeah, but you think about it, and we talked about this when we did our top 10 beers, it's vanilla beans, cocoa nibs, cinnamon, and chili peppers. That seems to be the winning combination. So I think that's what they're going for. It was a little smoky, which is I'm not used to. Now, I didn't think it was bad. A lot of people were giving it a lot of flack, but I think that's probably based on the fact that they kind of, ruined everybody last year with all the infection issues. But I mean, it's still okay. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to try to get a bottle as hard as it is to get a bottle nowadays. But
Chicago only.
Yeah. But it's pretty good stuff. So we got to try the prop. Some of the and the stout area was just completely just like nuts. But you could go over to the barley wine section, and it was kind of busy, but not as busy. And then the other section, which was kind of like fruit beers and weird stuff, which actually was weird stuff. I didn't try too many of those. And you could just walk through, just try whatever you want. But it's just
so it's organized by style. It's not by brewery.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So brewery only is going to bring a certain style. They're not going to do a barley wine and a stout.
Well, no, some breweries did,
but they have to be in 2 locations to do that.
Exactly right.
Oh, wow,
they would split them up, and I think some of them kind of got away with doing it, putting their stuff together, even though it was different styles or whatever. And maybe if they were at the end of one section and the start of another section. But some of the standouts for me were Lost Abbey had one. Is Framboise de Amorosa?
Yeah, I've had that.
Have you had that?
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. Is that a new one, or has that been out for a while? I don't try a lot of Lost Abbey stuff, so I'm not really sure. I was really impressed with that one. Weldworks.
That's in Colorado.
Is that Colorado? They had a couple beers. Our buddy Jason Hale went to a release and brought some barrel aged. I think it's Mexican.
Yeah, I have to go back and check through Todd. He had a couple of crowlers that I got to try some stuff from them.
They had one. The short name is called BAMA, BAMA, and I think it's barrel aged Mexican anachronic or.
Barrel-aged Mexican,
something like that. Yeah,
barrel-aged Mexican. What's the A?
I actually missed. I think it's achromatic or anachronic, something like that. But I actually missed that one, and I was one of the first people in, so I was a little frustrated with that. But right next to that one was a beer from a little-known brewery in, I believe, Columbus, Ohio, called Wolf's Ridge Brewing.
I've been there. I've been to the restaurant brewery.
Well, they don't get a whole lot of talk, and I've talked to some people. They're like, "Oh, I've had it. It's not quite as good as I think a lot of people are saying." But I've talked to more people that have had it and be like, "Yeah, it's an amazing beer." And it's kind of funny that this is exactly what you and I are talking about. You go to a place like this and you look for something that not a lot of people are talking about, and you try it. And you're like, "This is great." There's no line for it. Not a lot of people are claiming for it, but you can get it. It's a bourbon barrel Canis Mexicanus. And it's funny, I walked up and I was just like, "Oh, that looks good. Just give me pour that." And there was a girl pouring it, and she had this like wry look on her face. She's like, "Here you go." Yeah. And I was like, "All right, weirdo." And I tasted it, and I turned around, I took a sip, and I was like, and I did like a double take, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And she just gives me she's like, "Right?" She's like, "Yeah, I know."
It's downtown. I've been there. It's downtown Columbus. It's near Evolution, and it's a really cool restaurant. And at night, it becomes a little bit more upscale restaurant. Yeah. But the other, I didn't have that beer there. But the beers I've had there, I thought were really good.
Supposedly they do a whole Dire Wolf series.
Yeah,
which
I guess
stouts.
I don't think they were packaging. We went there maybe a year or two ago, and I don't think they were packaging. It looks like now they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Okay, that was one of the highlights for me. The barrel-aged Malevolence Caliente, I believe is what it's called. It's another pepper stout from Spiteful.
Oh, yes, yeah,
and they're out of Chicago. But I think a lot of people already know about that one. It's a little bit hard to get. The Pipeworks, again, out of Chicago. All their barrel-aged stuff was solid. Jones Dog. The Murderous was really good. And I believe that actually took a gold medal because they do a whole awards ceremony at FoBAB, and the Murderous took a gold medal in the barley wine category. That was actually really good. The best in show, and this kind of shocked me. Right. What was considered by the judges at FoBAB the best beer overall was actually triple digit bourbon barrel aged Chacao. Right. And that's in Cincinnati, just north of us. A lot of our COCBLOK.
Are you in the club?
Friends, I am.
I know a lot of folks around here
6 or 7 bottles
who are in that club, and they go up there and grab their bottles, and they've not been completely satisfied. It seems with either carbonation or quality.
Yeah. And I think that might have to do more with the manufacturing process. Now I didn't try it there because I've had it before, and they had some other variants which I didn't try. But the bourbon barrel aged Chacao
is good. I've had it.
It's good. Yeah, I would not give that best overall. No offense to Triple Digit and Listerman, because they're doing some great things up in Cincinnati. But
this is how all awards go. There's always someone you think is better in any awards: music, film, TV, beer. You think is better than the one that got the award.
I think what works for them in that specific situation is that you got a lot of people doing the exact same thing, and it's usually some pepper chocolate stout.
You sit with 6 or 10 or 12 or whatever barrel-aged
over and over
beers,
again,
and you're trying to differentiate. At some point, maybe you got a super palate. At some point, my palate's going to be like,
I'm dead.
I guess.
Oh, maybe, my palate would be, if I'm judging that, I mean, because every single one of those beers is like 10, 11% alcohol.
Right. Like, and that's great. That's great. By number 20, you're like,
this tastes, I don't remember number one.
Yeah, right.
But you like
difference here.
Yeah, you set it off with something like the Chicao, which is actually a hazelnut double brown ale.
Right.
It's very unorthodox, very different, something to throw in a barrel. It's very adjuncty. Like there's a lot of I don't want to necessarily say they're literally artificial flavors, but
that is what they do.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
They have all kinds of variations of this.
They do, yeah. So you throw something like in the mix, and that might be the only thing that actually does stand out. So I can see how in that specific situation something like that would get a little more attention from the judges. But regardless of that, I mean, kudos to them. That's actually a pretty high honor to take overall honors or overall best in show in FoBAB. So those guys, that's something to hang on their wall. They actually took silver medal last year, I believe, and now they got
good for them.
A gold in their category, which was actually like off beers or something like that, and best in show. So that's a huge deal. Are you playing another freaking soundbite? You can't even play the soundbite. It's not even coming in right.
It's not? I don't know. There's people outside laughing at us. I don't know what's going on.
No, whatever. God, you're such a dork.
Why am I a dork? I didn't throw up on a train. What's the matter, man?
That's not being dorky. That's just being belligerent.
All right. Well, let's take a short break here on what are we doing here? 93.9
WLXU
FM and Lexington Community Radio in wonderful Lexington, Kentucky. Let's have a...
Hello. Welcome back to COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky. I'm Matt.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Judah.
And Judah's here playing his iPad.
Judah, how's it going so far?
Good.
Judah's like, get me the hell out of here.
Angry Birds?
He's got Angry Birds. Yeah. But we've been talking about, I've been tearing everybody's ear off about FoBAB. In my experience, which has been great, and I will wrap it up, I will say that I'm very glad I went. I should have been better prepared.
Right. Or bring a bag. Bring a plastic
I'm definitely
bag.
Bringing
You might want to put a plastic bag in your pocket in case you have one of those instances again. You can just pull it out and.
No, I'm gonna bring like a Camelback with water and just like chug water the entire time.
I have a friend who does that when we go to beer things. He has one of those little water things on his back.
Yeah, and that's I'm kind of being sarcastic, but honestly, I should have brought water. They have water fountains, but it's like you had to get access to them. Like there was literally guys rinsing their glasses out in the water fountains. Like,
they didn't have jugs of water.
No, and it's like, come on, man! Like everybody's waiting for water, but there's so much stuff. It'd be easier to have it.
That was cool about the festivals. They put cold jugs of water all over the place, and you can just walk up and get a drink.
Yeah, and that's what they did. But again, it'd be easier if I had it with me. I'm going to bring food, and I'm going to utilize those damn pour buckets.
At least you didn't have a other kind of accident.
Yeah. Oh no, not this time.
Beer poop accident.
Beer poop.
Yeah.
But having
so much
4 or 5 ounce pours for each one. That was a little stupid. I should have been smarter than that. I know better. I do know better.
You're young. You're just you're 23. I think.
I'm like 18.
You're 18.
I don't even know how I got.
I mean, at my age, you've been.
Yeah, at 67, I'm surprised your liver even works.
I mean, when I was 18, I was like you. I understand. Except I didn't have the beard and wasn't Vietnamese, but otherwise, I was just like you.
I hope you would. Yeah, but I'll go out saying I had a couple other really good ones for everybody that's kind of interested in what they had. The Transient Electric Boogaloo, which I believe was an apricot sour. It's called Food or Number 2.
Had a couple transients, but not that, I think.
That was really good.
That's from Michigan.
Yeah, the apricot, Librette de Apricot, which we might... Do we get distro of that?
Do we get what?
Distro for Crooked Stave, Librette de Apricot.
I don't recall seeing that specific one.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as sour as it. And then Double Barrel Obelisk, another transient. The transient sours were solid.
They make some good beers.
Yeah, their sours were really solid. And the lakefront stuff. I've got a thing for lakefronts.
Lakefront, huh?
Barrel-aged lagers. They're really... I like them a lot. They had a pumpkin, the one that I liked a lot. And the last one was actually Claire's Thirsty Raspberry from Haymarket, but I've had that a few times. Have you had that one?
I don't have to look it up. I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Great one.
Although I think overall Haymarket is underrated in the Chicago scene.
I agree. But the Fremont Bourbon Barrel Aged Spice Wars was really good.
Oh, Fremont was there.
Yeah, Fremont. They had two beers on.
So they had a number of beers. Fremont's not normally available in Chicago.
I don't know. There's probably a lot that aren't, I would think.
So it's like one of those kind of festivals where they got not normally distributed here. Was there a booger on that microphone?
It might have been. Jude, did you put a booger on there?
No.
No.
I saw you over there picking your nose.
He sucks it in. But yeah, Fremont, the Dark Star, and then they had Dark Star Spice Wars.
Dark Star's
really,
good.
It was really good stuff. So, but that was my FoBAB experience.
Awesome,
I'm gonna go again next year. I'm gonna try to go again next year. I'm going to get the early.
I don't think there's any other big. Well, if there is, I'm not aware at the top of my head. Big barrel aged festival like that.
No, there's not either.
You know?
This was the best. This was probably my favorite beer fest I've ever been to, just because the sheer availability of fantastic beer. To know that I could have gotten in an hour early and not been under the pressure to drink as much as I could because there was literally 1,000 people behind me. Yeah, it was long.
I think if you walk away like you did with 30,
stuff floated
30 to 40 in. Okay, but you can't get everything anyways. You're not going to drink everything on tap.
That's the thing.
So if you do 30 to 40 tastings in 4 hours, I think you're doing right on the target, what you should be doing.
Yeah, and see, had I been in an hour early, I wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
But you did do between 30 and 40, so you were right.
Yeah, but I was in a rush, and I drank way too fast. Way too fast. If I could have taken my time, just do what I want to do, next year I'll be much more prepared. Judas coming around here. He's got a secret to tell. I think he's got to go poopy.
He wants to play a game. It's not on the iPad. He wants to play a game on the iPad that's not on the... No, he cannot download it right now.
we got to take a station ID so Judah can download a game to the iPad.
He likes Terraria. You know that game?
Huh?
Terraria? It's an old underground kind of... what do you call those? Side shooter things?
Yeah. Collect.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's an underground. You go underground and you shoot things and explode things and all that.
No, you don't do that.
Oh, you don't do that. All right. Well,
what do you do? No, you're not supposed to listen to them. Huh?
You just build stuff.
You build stuff.
You build stuff. I thought you kill people.
And you kill stuff. And you collect stuff.
Well, there you go.
So you build stuff, kill stuff, and collect stuff.
And there's more things.
And there's more things.
Well,
that's the holy trinity of...
That's true. It's almost like... what's that game you play on the Xbox? Overwatch.
Well, tell me about... I want to hear about your Philly travels.
Well, it's not as exciting. First of all, I did not throw up.
Then I don't want to hear about it anymore.
I didn't do any kind of... Nothing came out of my body in a public place, so I was all right. Unless you count a bathroom.
You didn't get kicked off a train almost?
But I went to a conference in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, and have you been to Philadelphia?
No, I have not.
Oh, never. So I've been there many times, and I went back. So I've been to Monk's. I don't know if you know Monk's Cafe, classic, one of the great beer bars in America. Ended up back there, of course, where you had Framboise d'Ambrosia. I had Framboise de Cure, which is that the one they do for cancer.
Okay.
Of course, Pliny was on tap. Made it out the Second Story, which is a brew pub that is in the old Triumph Brewery location, which when I got the Second Story, I realized, this is the old Triumph location, which was a mediocre brewery then that I had visited years ago. And it almost looks the same as the old place, only it's a new place.
Yeah.
What else we hit? For goals of life, convinced some friends to take the train with me and went to Tired Hands.
But nobody puked on the train.
Nobody puked on the train up there.
Boring story.
And Tired Hands was just lovely. Just the Tired Hands Cafe.
I would like to go to Tired Hands.
And I forgot, after we left, that there are two and they're right next to each other. And we could have gone to the other one down the block. Mm-hmm. But we ended up at the cafe and ate there. And just, one of my goals was to go to Tired Hands. I just knew on this trip I have to go to Tired Hands. I love Tired Hands.
They have some of the coolest beer names.
Love the hazy IPA thing. Love their saisons. Just fantastic. And on the last day, I went up, also hit some neighborhood bars that nobody else I was with would have ever walked to because they were just, when you go to a conference, we've talked about this before. Yeah. Academics like to congregate around the hotel and not leave. Yeah. So I'm the beer nerd. I'm the guy searching. So I'm looking for where are the cool bars that just local people are hanging out at, but are all crap. And the thing about Philadelphia is the distribution is absolutely insane.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
You walk into one place and they've got stuff on tap. You're like, this is here? And you walk into another place and it's a whole other list of things. You're like, what this? So everything from, from Cascade. What's the Cascade? What's that Virginia? Hardywood. Okay. Single Cut from New York. Captain Lawrence from New York. Oxbow from Maine. You're just seeing all kinds of crazy stuff here and there on tap. You're like, this is here, this is here, this is here. I can't believe, go to these little bars and you might see both Budweiser and Cape May, which I never had a Cape May beer before. Like, Cape May, okay, I'll try. Just really cool stuff. And then eventually finished at with a met an old friend, and we finished at a little tiny brewery called Crime and Punishment, which is in Brewery Town, which is a neighborhood.
No affiliation with the Stone release. Stone Brewing.
It was this tiny little brewery. And again, really cool hazy IPAs and sour IPAs and just fantastic beers.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing, when you go to the Pennsylvania, beer laws are really weird. Because I remember when my wife lived there, and when my daughter was born in Pennsylvania, that bottle shops are weird because they have to have food. And there's the case law where you have to buy beer by the case unless you go to a place that has food and buy it there.
You have to buy beer by the case.
So you can't just walk into a store and buy...
Usually it's the other way around.
Right. You can't just buy like a 6-pack unless you go to like either a bar that will sell you a 6-pack or to a place that has some food and they sell 6-packs. You can't just walk into a liquor store. There's no liquor store to walk into and just buy a 6-pack.
It sounds like an antiquated Southern law.
So you go to a distributor otherwise and buy a case of beer. So it's crazy. So one thing you do find, so when there is a bottle shop in the city, like I found, that has, it's kind of like a little place with food.
Yeah.
The prices are really, it's like New York.
Okay.
You know, you're going to pay, you're paying more for the bottle than you would back home. The other thing is all these breweries seem to sell the same kind of food, which is salads and sandwiches. That's
really?
It, right? It's just paninis and a salad, and that's how they get away with the food, I guess.
Yeah, aren't there like the steak sandwich,
cheesesteak?
Cheesesteak. Aren't those supposed to be like the big deal up here, though?
That's for tourists.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, listen, you want cheese whiz and processed meat, and then go for it, man.
Well, I mean, even if they are for tourists, I assume like some places are serving something other. I
have had a cheesesteak, not on this trip, but in the past I've had a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
In Philly, but no, man, Philly's a cool city, but it's just like one of the. Well, I shouldn't say this on the air in case someone from the university is listening, but I did go to a conference, and I did present my paper.
I most definitely performed my duties of my job, of which I'm being paid for.
My paper was about eating penis.
Peanuts?
Yeah, penis.
Penis?
Animal penis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the paper I gave. It was on a food panel about people talking about food.
Really? What kind of animal? Judah's like...
about people who write about... people who talk about that.
Judah's been wondering about you for a long time. I think a lot of things just cleared up in his mind.
It wasn't a promotion to do it. It was a discussion of how people talk about it.
Judah's given the obligatory...
It's a rhetoric conference.
The nod where everything's dawning on him.
He heard the P word and he's like, wait, what did you just say?
What kind of animal was it?
Oh, it's all different. Like, you watch Bizarre Foods?
No.
So
I've seen it before.
Yeah, stuff like that, like eating different animals.
So you've had multiple animal peni.
I have never eaten an animal penis, but this was a talk about people who talk about eating animals.
Oh, I thought you actually had not a singular, but multiple peni.
Well, these people, yeah, they eat lots of... It turns out that eating penis is actually a regular thing, around the world, that it's not so unique and different. That's kind of what the paper was about.
Does it have like...
So if you were in academia, you could not only hear a paper about this, but even write one. That's what we do for a living,
never
folks.
In my life ever been...
The Matt Bevin administration will come down on the University of Kentucky for sponsoring someone who went and gave a talk about eating penis.
Animal penis eating conference.
Advancing the Commonwealth day by day.
Yeah. I've never in my life ever been... deterred from like a profession as much as I have just now.
From academia?
Yeah.
You want to be a professor, don't you?
Well, yeah. I really
You ever watch The League?
Huh?
You ever watch The League? The 3 penis wine? No.
Did you hear my story about eating drinking the did I tell the snake wine story?
You might have told me and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Well, I think I did it on the air. Oh, my mom's Vietnamese and she had some Vietnamese friends that bring back a giant, like a 10-gallon jug of like dead snakes and like one random bird.
She might know about 3 penis wine.
She might.
You might ask her.
Yeah, you would ask my mom about 3 penis wine?
Have you ever made 3 penis wine? Like, how do you curse in Vietnamese? Dump.
Yeah. Do you have to dump a Vietnamese cuss
Can we curse in other languages without dumping?
I would say so.
No one's going to know what we're saying.
Yeah, that'll be in our docket for the next show.
Yeah.
How many ethnic...
we were both on the road, man. You did... So I did probably as much in 2.5 days as you did in one festival.
Yeah.
I think I had the same amount of tastings, but it took me 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Running around town.
Yeah, I had some really great stuff. Most stuff that a lot of people will, maybe
these last few weekends for me have been like 30 to 40 tastings just from either an event or someone's house or whatever.
I need to work out real bad. I feel so fat and lazy.
I do work out and I still feel something.
I mean, I need to stop drinking and just.
Do you want to come to Bikram Yoga with me?
I need to
You should come to yoga.
I need to do P90X. I need to do a P180X.
A P180X?
Is there such a thing?
What's that?
I don't know. Whatever the more of P90X is.
What's P90X?
Do you never watch infomercials?
No, man. What's that?
It's a workout.
I don't have cable.
Yeah. I don't either, and I still know what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever. Get out of here.
Well, we've said a lot, maybe too much. And you've been listening to COCBLOK, the Coalition of Craft Beer Lovers of Kentucky, on 93.9 Lexington Community Radio.